How you doing? This is Brother T. If you want to support the channel, we have t-shirts and other merch right there in the description. Just hit the link.
You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
Pine cones of wisdom. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Trust me, you'll get it. And you'll love it too, trust me, because I know you love the pine cones and you kind of love Brother T. Well, you kind of like me at least, right? I'm okay, right? I'm an associate, maybe not a friend yet, right? At least, I don't know. Okay, so let's get into it. So today is going to be an interesting episode. So today we're going to talk about your environment. Now, your environment is more than just that fodder in the background of your life, right? Your environment shapes who you are. From your childhood, from your adolescence, to your teenage years, to your young adulthood, to your adulthood, up until your, convalescence. You know what I mean? Your environment shapes who you are. But we're more talking about your environment from your past. A lot of times your childhood, right? Because that really shapes who you are, All right, so let's talk about the subconscious for a second, and I'll tell you why in a second. Let's define it first. So subconscious is the totality of mental processes of which the individual is not aware. Unreportable mental activities. Now, what the heck does that mean, Brother T? Very simple. It's stuff that you're not aware of. A lot of times it'll show itself as like actions that you take without knowing that you're consciously doing it, right? So let's say, for instance, somebody walks up and they say certain things and you just snap on them. And then later on, you're like, why did I do that? I don't know. A lot of times it's your subconscious. Now, your subconscious, a lot of things that control our subconscious happen to us when we are younger. That's why it's very important to keep an eye on your children and keep them protected. Sometimes when you have child predators or any type of like pedophilia happen to you, or any of those type of things, they can really mentally scar you. If you're young enough, they will be seared into your subconscious, and later on you'll be doing things and reacting to things and not knowing why you are reacting to those things. Comes from your subconscious, right? Your subconscious creates a paradigm. Now, your paradigm, if you don't know what it is just the way you think. Now, you can have a group paradigm. That could be your family. That could be a certain race of people, a group paradigm. Or you can have that individual paradigm that's formed from back when through your family, okay? Or through traumatic events even, right? Once again, very important. Watch your children. Watch the things around them. Make sure they are protected, at least to the best of your ability. Do not ignore this. All right, so your subconscious, let's get back to it. So your subconscious, what happens in your subconscious? These are things that you cannot control necessarily. This is your brain. This is like an autopilot. Think about it, okay? So these are things that just happen. So how in the world, you're asking me now, how in the world can I get around that? Am I just going to be on autopilot for some things for the rest of my life? Not necessarily. What you have to do is reprogram your subconscious and change your paradigm. All right. Now, remember that you have control over your environment, at least your recent one, right? But if we're talking about your subconscious from back when, from your childhood or traumatic experience that happened to you, some years back, you probably have to take yourself back to that time, figure out that traumatic experience that's got you thinking like that, or got you, in that type of fear. Deal with it head on. If it's some type of molestation type of thing, or any, we can't use the R word, but I think you're saying, know what I'm saying. Any kind of abuse of the sexual manner happening, I need you to start to deal with that issue. Now, it's going to be hard, and it's going to involve some tears. It's going to involve some stuff that you thought you swept under the rug and forgot about, but you really didn't. But you thought you did, but you really didn't. Right? A lot of sex addictions come from these things. Some of these things that happen to us as a child as well. Now, you know, how can we do that? We go back, we heal that part of us, and we can't heal that part of us unless we attack it and face it. We have to face the issue. It might involve even forgiving some people you don't want to forgive, right? And you're not forgiving them for them, you're forgiving them for you. All right. Now, once we get to that point, I'm saying that like it'll happen in 2 days, right? But sometimes that might take months. It might take years. It might be for the rest of your life, little by little. But if you start to attack it, trust me, you'll feel better in the end. It's going to feel terrible up front. In the end, you're going to thank me. Trust me. Now, when you start to get to that point, now you have to reprogram yourself so you can get on a higher vibration in the present. How can you do this? You can do this through music. Listen to more positive music that uplifts. There's plenty of music out there. Even though your man, Brotha T, is not a Christian, I do like some Christian music. Don't tell anybody. I'm just kidding. No, I really do. I like choirs. I like choir music. And people will say, well, that sounds like a Christian. No, not necessarily. I like the vibration. I like how they write their lyrics. They're writing it from a pure place. I like things that are pure. So when I listen to that stuff, it puts me at a certain level. But that's not it. I like ballads. I like ballads that are written beautifully. These are things that put me on a high level. When I watch things like, I watch business shows a lot. I don't watch a lot of stuff that have to do with murders and stuff like that. I don't watch a lot of horror movies and stuff like that. Not to say I'm not judging anybody that does. No, and every now and then I will, just not a regular thing, because I want to stay higher vibrational, higher thinking, on a higher frequency. And looking at more positive things makes me think more positive throughout the day, I found. Rocket science, right? So when you start to do that, you heal that past trauma, and then you're starting to reprogram yourself with music, what you watch, what you listen to, how you spend your time, and the people you hang around. Get rid of those dirty, nasty minded people that's always throwing shade. Now, if they're around you and it appears like they're happy most of the time, but they spend a lot of time talking about other people and their business, guess what they're doing to you when you're not around? Just guess. Don't think that you're so special that they will stop and not gossip about you, but when they're around you, they're gossiping about everybody else. But you're off limits. Don't think it for 1 second. As soon as you walk out of that door, they talking about you. When they're in front of you, they like, you know, Claire, I'm so tired of Claire, man. She thinks she's all that, and she got a square body anyway. She ain't built like nothing, and she thinks she's this and that because her husband ain't even all that. He probably cheating on her anyway. I'm telling you, girl, I hate her guts. You know what I mean? And you like, yeah, girl, yeah, that's it. And y'all chopping it up. You think that's your friend, and you walk out the door, and then she call Claire and be like, Claire, I can't stand Judy, because Judy, she sit here and she agree with everything I say, acting fake. I know she don't agree with nothing I say. You get what I'm saying? Don't think for 1 second that them people won't turn on you. So I say all that just to say, the friends around you, this is how you can start to think on a higher level. This is how you can change your environment. This is all about changing your environment, because that makes you who you are. Now, it wouldn't be Brotha T and it wouldn't be T's Life Tree if I don't mention the law of attraction, right? So here we go again. I want you to know that when you're changing to that higher vibration, you're listening to better things, you're looking at better things, you're keeping it more people that think on a high vibration around you, people that are really doing stuff with their lives, people that really bring love to the table. Then what you're going to do, you're going to start thinking at yourself, even without even knowing that you're getting to that point, right? Because like attracts like. So when you start doing those things, you're going to attract those people, and they're going to attract you, and then you're going to attract better things. This can mean better jobs. This can be better money. Trust me. Just trust me. Try it and do it over a long period of time. You're going to find that things in your life will improve. I can't guarantee you how much they're going to improve, but I can guarantee you if you start living on a higher frequency, you're going to find that you're going to have less bad days. You're still going to have bad days. You're going to have less of them. Okay. Now, what you direct, this is very important. I want you to listen closely. What you direct your energy towards will eventually be what you get, right? You're going to remember that. Remember, this is very important. So if you direct your energy towards low vibrational things or things that won't benefit you in the long run, you're going to attract other things that don't benefit you. This is a principle, right? This is a principle. You get what you give what you get, or you get what you give. Something like that. Now, this won't be easy, and it won't happen immediately a lot of times. Sometimes it will, but a lot of times it won't. So you have to be consistent. But if you keep your thoughts on the right thing and your energy in the right place, and you do the practical work to get where you're trying to get, you're going to get what you're trying to get, and you're going to attract other things to it. Law of attraction. Give you an example. Let's say you want to write a book. Right? You go out, you do a lot of the research, which is high vibrational, right? All this stuff is high vibrational. You have a good outlook on it. You do all the proper research. You put all your energy into doing it. And then you get that book, you write that book. What happens if you put it on a shelf, on your own shelf, and you just sit it there? Nothing, right? It's only going to have one person read it ever, right? But once you put yourself out there, now you're putting it into the universe for something to happen. You're changing your environment, really. You really are. You can go out and try to get a book deal. If you get a book, or you can self-publish. Once you get it in the stores, you get it in the Amazon. Now you can be available for book signings. People invite you to speak if it's a good enough book and they enjoy it. You might even become a best-selling author. You're changing your environment, and by that, you might catch the eye of somebody. It might even be a movie producer. He might read your book and say, "We can adapt this to the screen." You might get a call from Paramount. Say, "Hey, I work for Paramount. I read your book. It's great. We're going to change it into a screenplay. We want to take an option because maybe it's an autobiography, right? And we want to take an option on it, a 5-year option. We're going to give you this amount of money for the right to make or not make your movie within the 5 years, right?" You changed your environment, and you, through law of attraction, drew something in because you took the practical steps after you changed your thinking, right? You took the practical steps of doing what it is that you were trying to do. You were changing your environment, and by doing that, you drew in, you got what you wanted, which is the book, and it's out there, and then you got other stuff with it. This is how it works. This is why you want to think on a higher frequency. This is why you want to move on a higher frequency. I am stuttering. Okay, forgive me, but trust me, the point is there. Now, I want you to transmute as well. Now, transmutation is a word that you need to familiarize yourself with, and this is the process of changing something from one thing into another. Now, when something comes in and is negative, even some of the lessons we go through in life are going to come in a negative way. You need to change these things into something that you can learn a lesson from, something that will improve your life, even if they're bad things, right? You might have a bad day and it might make you feel terrible. Somebody might be attacking you. Somebody might be lying on you. I get lied on all the time. Trust me, and I'm sitting here laughing about it. What does that tell you? Right? I'm expecting it almost, but I take it and I'll try to transmute it. I'll take it and turn to something I can learn a lesson from. We are giving you both sides of manifesting. That's why I said what you give your energy to, you're going to manifest. So I have to tell you about the other side. All right. Now, this is just the metaphysical part in me, right? This is, you know, you'll get it. If you don't get it now, you'll get it later. If you change what you're doing, higher vibrational, you do the practical things, world opens up. You get what you want a lot of times, and you'll get even more. Law of attraction, but it works on the negative side. So if you start looking at negative things, you around negative people, you start doing those negative things in practicality, you will get what you're trying to get on the negative side, and you'll attract more negative. Think about it like that. And if you think about it like that and you go about your life in that way, then you will start to stay away from those, very terrible days. Like I said, people, you're gonna have bad days, right? I can't preach sunshine every day of your life. I can't do that. It's impossible. You'll hate me. You'll say I'm a liar. But if I tell you that if you live a certain way, you can start having more of those good days. Not because necessarily you're working some kind of magic, but you're just doing the things that are going to keep you in a more high vibrational space. When I talk about high vibrations, I'm not trying to be spooky with it, right? I'm not saying you're going to wave some pixie dust wine around and it's high vibrations. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking from an energy standpoint. I'm talking from a practical standpoint. There are things that you can do to get you on that higher vibration, right? A lot of people talk about manifesting, and you get pastors and certain people, and they only give you one side of it. Brotha T is going to give you the whole thing. That way you'll be more well-rounded in your thinking in the end. And trust me, this opens you up, and it gives you a perspective on life that you probably didn't have before. And it makes you navigate life in a totally different way. You start to look at things different. You start to look at people in a different way, and you start to come into an understanding, that you didn't have before. And it's a benefit. Trust me. So just remember, make sure you stay conscious of your environment. Why? Because your environment shapes who you are. Get to that past trauma. Get to that childhood trauma. Deal with that. Find your purpose. Get to your purpose. Keep the things around you high vibrational. Take practical steps to get what you deserve, plus more through the law of attraction. This is your man, Terrion Wilson, Brotha T. I know some of that seemed like it was all over the place, but I brung it all back, didn't I? It was kind of like Pulp Fiction. The first time you watched it, you was like, well, it's all scattered. And then at the end of it, you say, oh, I get it. That's how it is. This has been your man, Brotha T. I really enjoyed this episode. I think you could tell, but I'm going to think of something cool for the next episode. So stay tuned and keep watching, family, these videos. I trust they're going to get better the more I do them. Okay. All right. So I'm going to catch you on the next one. Thanks for coming through. Peace.